What's up, guys? In this video, I'm checking out 10 times Resident Evil made us roll our eyes. Let's get it. Oh, I've seen this one.
Welcome to Mojo Plays, and today we are taking a look at 10 times Resident Evil made us roll our eyes. For this list, we'll be looking at all those times our screens overflowed with cheese. Whether it's a corny piece of dialogue or a moment that made absolutely no sense, as long as it made us all collectively.
Oh my gosh, that right there makes no sense. Like,
did we miss
what?
any of your favorites? We're not surprised.
This one was just silly.
But let us know in the comments below. Before we continue, we publish content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. Live action intro.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City.
Bursting onto the scene in 1996, Resident Evil was a game changer for the horror genre. But before people had the opportunity to jump into the gameplay, they had to sit through the live action intro to the game. Assuming the developers wanted to add a sense of realism, the live action made sense. The budget, however, didn't accommodate live action sequences that didn't look and feel worse than a 90s Power Rangers episode.
It was Bravo Team's helicopter. Nobody was in it. But strangely, most of the equipment was still there.
Complete with corny acting, below-average cinematography, and the hilariously over-the-top character introductions, this intro is very hard to watch 25 years later.
Jill Valentine.
Oh, so 90s.
Chris's face turn.
What is with the creepy story? She's only 6 months old.
Spoiler warning for Resident Evil Village here. At the beginning of the game, Chris Redfield made his big bad boy entrance by killing Ethan's wife, Mia, forcefully capturing
I was
Ethan
so confused at that part. I was like, what?
Rose.
You are so...
But it all makes sense towards the end. Because I was like, I get it now. That's why. Yeah.
It's not till way later in the game that it's revealed Mia wasn't Mia. Chris was only trying to protect Rose, and Ethan is a civilian, blah, 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 blah. What the hell, Chris? Couldn't have picked up the phone and maybe filled us in a little, you big idiot? The big face turn at the end where it turns out Chris isn't the villain feels like a forced plot twist that makes a lot of the decisions that happened earlier in the game seem less.
Can you imagine if Chris was the villain? Like,
it all makes sense now, and more like, are you on drugs, you big-armed duppy?
3 years trying to keep this thing around.
Oh, hey, I like this commentator. Oh,
Stop
man.
everything you're doing.
Leon needs to deliver some dialogue. Hello.
At the beginning of Resident Evil 4, the player has the opportunity to help a dog.
But the way Leon says, hey, it's that dog, like, that was kind of corny. But that whole scene wasn't corny.
During the fight with El Gigante, and assuming you saved the dog, he will appear after an epic howl is heard. He stands
I can't wait to see that for the remake. Oh, it's gonna be good.
To make his epic entrance, while El Gigante just stands quietly to the side to let him have his moment. If this over-the-top moment wasn't eye-rolly enough, Leon tops it off with the infamous line, "Hey, it's that dog," just to make it super clear to the player that this dog with the bloody leg is the same dog from before, and not to be confused with all the other dogs in the game.
The way he said it, oh my gosh.
0 of them.
I can't wait for Leon to say that in the remake. Hey, it's that dog.
I don't know who you people are.
The criminally underrated DLCs for Resident Evil 7 included an epic journey back through the Baker's property titled Ending Zoe. The player takes control of Jack Baker's brother, Joe, as he tries to save his niece, Zoe, who is now in a sort of calcified coma.
See that girl back there? Look!
Yeah, I've seen the main game. I haven't seen this one.
My niece, you understand?
Instead of using the endless arsenal of weaponry that Ethan needed to take on these mold mutants, Joe does the unthinkable and rolls up his sleeves, blows on his knuckles, and takes them bare-fisted. I'm talking street rules, baby! If it wasn't eye-rolly enough for someone to beat a mold mutant with their bare hands, he also takes on his brother Jack, the same brother who Ethan could barely do damage to with a grenade launcher.
Are you kidding me? What?
Why'd he bite me?
What have we got here?
Resident Evil is known for a couple
Yo, Leon,
oh,
thank God they changed his look. He looked very weird in this.
Definitely. Cheesy, badly delivered dialogue, you know it.
Which makes sense because it's a 90s game, but still.
But classic Resident Evil features an endless source of hilariously eye-roll inducing acting. At the beginning of Resident Evil 2, after the truck driver is bitten, he hilariously exclaims to himself,
"That guy's a maniac. Why'd he bite me?"
The line itself is cringy enough, but the delivery is what really brings it home.
"Guy's a maniac. Why'd he bite me?"
Salazar.
Oh, Salazar.
Sometimes you set up a
I'm
world
still shook
in a
that
video
he's
game,
20. Like,
create
what?
a tone, and then someone comes in and spills their milk all over it. Salazar is that milk spiller. Widely disliked and corny as all hell, Salazar is reminiscent of Emperor
I kind of
Pilaf
like
from
Salazar,
Dragon Ball,
even though
but
he
placed
is a
in the
villain.
wrong
But I
universe.
normally like villains. They're cool.
This tiny Napoleon
Like what?
seems to be
No,
trying
you don't
to
look
strike
20.
fear
You
into
don't
the
look
player,
20.
but always comes off as laughable and over the top.
No more games. Kill him.
Even at his scariest,
Yeah, he's
when
kinda-
he's absorbed into the tentacle
he's
monster
kinda
for his
corny.
big bad boss fight, he is still
It's been a while since I've seen the original RE4. Yeah, that was very gross. Oh, I can't wait to see that in the remake as well. Oh, it's gonna be way scarier.
Killed you years ago.
Oh my gosh, this right here.
Resident Evil has a great
This
way
right
of grounding
here.
itself in terrifying and tight horror at the beginnings of their games, and then unraveling like an old knitted sweater until they become a parody of a Jason Bourne film. Resident Evil 5 ends in an epic battle with the already hilariously over-the-top and constantly returning villain of Albert Wesker. Wesker has run
I really
out of
hope in the
epic
future they
battle
will do
areas,
an
so he decides
RE5
to do
remake.
this one
I
inside
would
an
like to
active
see it be updated.
volcano. The battle includes a villain who realistically should just walk up to our protagonists and squish their heads. A beefcake, Chris Redfield, who literally punches boulders to move them, and a final
Like,
killing
come
blow of
on.
not one, but 2 RPGs.
Come on!
Time's up, you son of a...
Oh man!
Ethan's hand.
Oh my gosh, here we go. Okay, yeah, I rolled my eyes on this. Yeah, that was very crazy and
you are
unnecessary.
aware that Ethan's healing abilities are explained later in the game. But that doesn't stop us
But
from rolling
still.
our eyes at the events around his crazy healing abilities.
Exactly.
The idea that this decision was made retroactively following Resident
Lady
Evil
D
7's
cuts
release,
his
as
hand
opposed to
off.
always being intended, has been a point of contention with fans. But let's pretend for a moment that the actual act of him reattaching his limbs is fine because that was always the writer's plan. Why doesn't Ethan lose his mind every time he does it? What makes him so cool with gluing his hand on with health fluid? Why does he not bring it up at every
Like
single
nothing
dinner
happened.
party? Also, why do his clothes get fixed after his arm is removed? Are we to assume his entire wardrobe is mold? My eyes can't roll any further back, okay? It's starting to hurt. Barry's one-liners.
What is it?
Blood. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
There was absolutely no way we could do this list without mentioning the epic one-liners of fan favorite Barry Burton, as a good chunk of the cheesiest dialogue comes straight from this man himself. After giving Jill a lockpick, he wants to make it as clear as possible to the player that Jill is the right person for this tool by explaining,
Here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
this line is nodded to in Revelations 2 when Barry smashes the gate open and says,
Who's the master of unlocking now, huh?
"Who are you talking to, Barry?" One of the most underappreciated lines is when Barry finds the body of Forrest Spade.
You know
With the
these
body
game
being
characters
obscured,
like
it
to
looks
talk to
Barry is
themselves,
surprised
okay?
by the woods when he exclaims, "It's a forest, oh my god."
It's Forrest. Oh my God.
And who can forget the classic, the
Oh,
much-loved
man.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Resident Evil 6.
Yes! Jill sandwich.
Suppose I think you fly a plane, do you?
Resident Evil
Unanimously
6.
considered the
That
worst
game was...
game in the series. RE6
I did not
has
like
so
that at
many
all.
eye-rolling moments that we've decided to make it its own
It
entry.
didn't make no
The
sense. I'm
over-the-top
just gonna
action
say it. It don't make no
sequences are
sense.
really prevalent in this one. The standouts being the Michael Bay-like highway sequence and the jet gameplay.
Like if they do remake RE6,
Not only is the jet gameplay so badly
hopefully it'll be
designed
more
that it
horror
feels
and
like
less
you're holding
action.
the controller with your feet, But the whole scene has
I think it will, just like they did with
place in
RE4
Resident
remake,
Evil.
but
One of the
I'm just
laziest
saying.
designs for a villain appeared in this game with T-Rex Simmons, a villain who transformed, as they so often do, but into a T-Rex. Let's be clear, not an actual T-Rex, just a mutant equivalent. But it's not like he was super into dinosaurs or anything. There was no reason for this type of mutation except, hey, wouldn't it be cool if? Also, let's not forget the clones. Why did the game have clones? Why did Simmons want a clone of Ada? Of course, we all know why, but it's gross and it's weird and it doesn't get fleshed out enough in the story to justify its existence in the game. Resident Evil 6 made my eyes do a 360 and now I have to go to the hospital.
Get over yourself.
Did you enjoy?
Guys, I'm gonna just keep this short and sweet. Resident Evil wouldn't be Resident Evil till this day if it weren't for these cheesy lines and some of these unrealistic moments. That's what made me like Resident Evil, is these characters and the moments like these. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Let me know what videos you guys want me to check out next, and I'll for sure check it out. You guys stay lit and peace.